Would you please welcome from a place called
Winnipeg.
Once again, we don't know if anybody can even hear this or not, but if you hear infinite amounts of silence because we think the music is playing, it is for us. It might not be for you, but whatever. Sometimes it's not always about you guys.
Yeah.
We like it.
Ribo. Peeling. I'm doing peeling tonight.
Are you peeling?
I'm a peeler.
Noise!
Noise.
Ugh.
Probably should take that shirt off. You look like Where's Waldo?
Been waiting all night to get me.
That might be our new theme song.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're reenacting the scene from Deliverance.
Welcome.
Once we get sued from Burton.
27. Burton wasn't in Deliverance. That was Burton Reynolds.
Burton Reynolds.
We are happy to see you here tonight. Thank you for joining us after a very successful live show. One of our best, I'd have to say.
I couldn't argue that.
We got
They're
a
all
couple.
so good.
We got lots of fan mail to read. We got a couple sponsors today, and our first sponsor is by the fine gentleman Carlton Scott Andrew and his new book Rugged. Right there, what every disruptive business leader should know. It's a great book about business. Ribo, Dave, and I read about this when we were putting together Winnipeggers, and you can see that Scott actually signed it for me. He says, "Stay rugged." Scott Andrew, not Andrews, Andrew.
That's something, man.
It's really something. It really is. And it's a book that you guys should read. I'm going to have you ever dreamed about owning your own business, maybe becoming a market disruptor? Would you know where to start? Do you have a coach, a mentor, a teacher who can show you how?
Would it be market distributor, or does it say market disturber?
Disruptor.
Oh, disruptor. Okay,
Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. Wow. So
Yeah.
he's
So go check that out. Thanks to Scott Andrew. Rugged is a
Thanks,
great
Scott.
book for all of us to read and learn about, since we have our own business here with Winnipegger, which we have. We actually have a 401k. We have made some money, and also sponsored in part by Len Fairchuk and the Western Hour. They got
Thank
a
you, Len.
huge TV taping this Saturday in Winnipeg between 2 and 5. It's a free stage. So if you guys are looking for some free entertainment, go to the Western Hour TV taping Saturday between 2 and 5 p.m.
prime time.
Len Fairchuk will be there to rock and roll for you. And guys, Len, what a guy. That guy has been rocking for many, many years. Am I right, Ribo?
Totally. And make sure you guys social distance, which shouldn't be a problem. 6 feet between people shouldn't be a problem there. It's a big place. There should only be about 30 people there, or less, because that's
this is what's called
20 years old.
It's called forced social distancing. You have no choice.
Yeah.
Like,
Stay away from it. Stay away.
You're forced because it's 40 years ago in the past. Good luck finding it.
Which actually fits, because that's what we're talking about today. We're not going to get into it at this moment, but worst gigs ever. We've all played natural socially distanced gigs.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, absolutely. For pets sometimes.
Oh, that's going to be a good one. I'm going to laugh my head off for that one. But let's get into the fan mail. We got a lot of great fans here. I sound like Don Cherry. Got a lot of great fans here tonight. This is a good one right here. This is Sabine, day 3 of this new year. She obviously wrote this a couple weeks ago. So take a deep breath and wait how this day will be. Definitely darts. She's going to play darts. She's going to watch some football, and she's going to watch some Winnipeggers as well. Dave Spivak Project. I am Jericho. Why is Ribo not on social media? I would love to follow him. Best regards to him. Ribo, can you answer that question?
I have enough people just following me going down the street. People are walking behind me, asking me questions. Like it's enough already. If I did it on social media, it'd be too much. Couldn't handle it.
It's a gooch call. Ribo is not into social media, much like Angus Young, not into social media. Jim Carrey, maybe somebody. I think
Jim Carrey's probably.
I don't think he is. I think Ribo, Jim Carrey, and Angus Young, the most mysterious icons in in show business. And I did say icon. Sorry.
Yeah, icons.
So my brother-in-law says, you two. You want to go see you two?
My mom used to say hash browns. You want some hash browns? It's hash browns, not hash browns. Hash browns.
I don't know. Let me see if I'm hungry enough to eat breakfast. Would you like some hash browns for breakfast?
You put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Nice. Well played.
Hey, cheers.
Tony.
Oh, Tony.
Hey, cheers,
Big
guys.
friend of the
First of
show.
all, cheers. Yeah, big friend of the
Cheers.
show. Tony did the live intro for our first live show, which is a huge hit.
That's
Idiot
right.
Olympics, which you will see again. Great rock and roll crazy night show. You are the hero with Chris, Dave Spivak, and the drummer Rybo. Do you like that? Just the drummer Rybo? The drummer Rybo?
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'm not on
Little
social
bit.
media, so it's okay.
Make sure you buy one of Dave's toques.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Tell us about those toques, Dave.
Best quality you've ever seen in your life. It'll change your life. If you got family problems, you got problems with your wife, you got social problems, you got work problems, you buy a toque, it magically everything goes away, and it's a guarantee. And here for the show, the next 10 subscribers on my YouTube channel, Dave Spivak Project on YouTube. The next 10, you go into a raffle, you win one toque, and this isn't some cheap toque, okay? This cost me $18.50 right here. That's my cost. I sell them. I don't even want to say what I sell them for, all right? But I sell them. I sell a lot of toques.
Well, you have to tell them what you sell them for. You shouldn't say what you pay for.
$25 shipping included, U.S. and Canada. PayPal or e-transfer.
You kind of reversed it there, Dave. You made a little mistake.
Yeah, but this is a great toque, and everybody should be wearing them, and it keeps your head warm, and it's important. It is winter, and when winter goes away, getting old. I had a birthday a week ago, a couple weeks ago. You got another. I got a ball cap here, and this is a mesh hat. This keeps your head cool when you're out there walking around in the summer. A lot of walking around these days, and this is a really reinforced strap. You won't need to put a staple in there, a piece of tape, or any bubble gum or any glue. This thing is made to last. There's a lifetime warranty as long as you wear it constantly. Right. Yeah.
I have never worn a toque that has had a staple in it. But if we're still plugging, let me say another thing you can buy when you're walking around, and that would be official Winnipeggers T-shirt, which is worn right here by the lovely sparkly one. And
Sparkly 181. Yeah, nice girl. Yeah,
she got her Winnipeggers T-shirt right there, and you can get yours by going to prowrestlingtees.com, do the / for the Chris Jericho, and talking about Guns N' Roses, and you too can have your own Winnipeg, and you too can have your own.
I ain't talking about Bono. Have your own.
And that's the best quality shirt. That is insane, that shirt, because
really
you sent me when
quality.
you were kind enough after 25 episodes or whatever it's been, you were kind enough to send me a free shirt.
Well, I had nothing to do with it. It was the guys at Pro Wrestling Tees that decided we all deserved one, and I really agree. I put that shirt on.
I cried for nothing.
I fell asleep. It made me feel like I was falling asleep. It was that comfortable.
I wear shirts over my eyes when I sleep. Sorry to interrupt, but I wear them over my eyes when I sleep. I've always liked that cool feeling, and I mean, I'll probably just use that over my eyes for the rest of my life. I don't have a long time, I'm sure, because I just had a birthday a couple of weeks ago. But I put it over the eyes. You go to sleep. You go a little goo goo gaga. Have a little goo goo gaga nap. God, I hate that.
So wear it as
little num. Yeah, Tony Ma. What's that?
Tony Mariani.
Tony Mariani. Let's go.
Read that one, Rybo.
Happy New Year, DSB. That doesn't sound for Dave Spivak. It sounds for Deformed Sack and Penis. Pet peeves, best show of the season. Dave, please tell me that wasn't a flyer toque you were wearing.
Oh yeah, it was a 1981 moto ski toque from an actual snowmobile. It wasn't a Flyers toque.
I do like the Deformed Sack and Penis. That might be our name of our black metal band, right?
Well, that's what Ryan would actually tell people. They're like, oh, you're playing with Dave Spivak there at the show. What does the GSP stand for? It's like, and then Ryan would just make it up because everything annoys us, and we just whatever.
Yeah. Well, no, everything. Hold on. Everything annoys you. Let's be more specific there. And one last shout out, Rybo got a guy here that you played with in Annihilator, the famous Canadian metal band Annihilator, and his name is, do you recall?
Dave Smeldong. Dave Sheldon.
Okay.
We call him
sounds
Smeldong,
like Waters.
Yeah.
So Dave
deformed sack is his initials.
Dave Sheldon. and he has a band called X's for Eyes, and
he has the same
band.
initials as Dave Spivak, by the way. And he works for the radio station. Dave, what radio station is that?
I don't know, man. 93.1 or something. Hang on, I'll just get set up here. I kind of lost interest in it all when Ryan ruined my dreams there a couple minutes ago. But
wait,
let me take a look.
Hold on, you got interest. You got lost interest when we stopped talking about you.
89.1 Max FM, and I think you can see it there on the.
Is that in Ontario, Rybo? Or is that
it is. It is. That's in Barrie, Ontario. It's all through that whole area, and it's a great show. Play some kick-ass heavy metal for you. Well, good friend of the show, Dave.
Let's hear what he says. He says this.
Of the death of Death frontman Chuck Schuldiner, and that song was called Pull the Plug. This weekend, I gave myself some time to check out some back episodes of the Winnipeggers podcast on YouTube, featuring an ex-bandmate of mine, Ryan Ahoff. We played Annihilator together, his good friend, Dave Spivak, and their good friend, future Hall of Fame wrestler, Chris Jericho. In light of listening to many episodes this weekend, here is Fozzy on 89.1 Max FM.
Nice. Thanks, Dave Smeldon. That seems like a nice guy there.
He's a very nice guy. He's probably the fastest eater I've ever seen too. He's a fast consumer. He'll drink a beer in like one sip. He'll eat like you get a big fat boy or something like that, and it'll be like one bite. He'll just be like,
yeah, big friend of the show, big eater, big drinker. He has a bit of an alcohol problem, overeats, loves fat boys and fries. Dave, welcome to the family.
Nice to have Dave Smeldon. That's some great radio airplay for us, so we always appreciate that. So thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Dave.
Once again, amazing fans that listen. Thanks, Dave. Thanks to all you guys who are listening to the show and enjoying the show. 27 episodes in. Who would have thunk it? Certainly not us. But we got a great show for you today. We've been talking about Annihilator. We've been talking about some of these bands and that sort of thing that we've been we've played in and had shows in, but we've all had the great gigs. We've also had really terrible gigs. And I think even to this day that I bet you Metallica would say, oh, we play, Potslav, Yugoslavia last night. It was terrible. There was only 8,000 people there and, they were terrible, whatever. We have stories with a lot less people there. We all know there's nothing better than a great gig, but there's nothing worse than a terrible gig. Am I right, Rybo?
Yes. But then again, you remember the bad ones. If it's really great, that's awesome. If it's really bad, you also remember that. Like the ones that are just like every other
they
one. They
stand out.
So you like the ones that stand out are kind of nice.
The okay gigs are the ones you don't really think about much, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Dave?
Yeah, I mean, that happened at a young age for me with that. I got a lot of that out, and then it came back. It comes in waves, It's Ryan's right. You'll never forget a bad show or a good show. If you want me to get into it, I have a couple things I could talk about.
Start out. Let's go.
If you're into conversation tonight and English talking,
Sit here and look
it's kind of the point of the show. It's kind of the point of the show.
I mean, I would start it off with the air band stuff that we would do. I had a packed theater. I think I was in grade 10 or 11 at Westwood Collegiate. It was packed, and that's a packed place. That felt like you were really on. You were up there. It was off Broadway, but it was nice.
An air band is a lip sync competition because they don't use that word in the States.
In the U.S., right? Yeah. They don't take their shoes off when they go in the house. They wear their sneakers. So we did a air band competition, and I had done. I wanted to do Jimmy Page. I wanted to do Led Zeppelin, but I ended up going with two buddies of mine. Brian Donnelly was Eddie Van Halen, and Chris Van Horn was Angus Young. And we did a thing we called 6-String Legends, and we just went up and did the guitar solos. And it was a great idea, and we had cut it all on tape, and we had all our parts worked out. And I got really lazy before it. I was like going to make the Jimmy Page pants with the black pants with the, the everything with the dragons on it and the whole bit. And then here's how lazy I got. I actually at the last minute said, oh my God, I can't look like Jimmy Page. So I went as him from The Firm. So I wore one of Donna Van Horn wigs, just a big afro wig and a white dress shirt with red suspenders basically and black pants, and just was like, hey, I'm Jimmy Page from The Firm. I had to explain it to everybody all night. Yeah. But the solo, I think it's like
Heartbreaker.
and it's like bow bow now now bow bow now bow bow now. The high note, I went like this, and the wig just fell off, and it was like a Safeway bagger haircut. I was exposed in front of the entire school, and people were. It wasn't like a couple laughs.
No.
It was like people were just standing up, pointing and laughing their
Yeah.
face off at me.
I was one of
Completely
them.
laughing their complete face off at me.
I was one of them.
Yeah, you were probably one of them. So I mean, that was, I guess, not a real gig. I've had terrible live gigs, like
Hold on,
every single one of
before
us.
you get into that, I just want to say
Yeah.
the final thing on the Six String Legends. It was Dooley looked like he was playing. Van Horn looked like Angus Young.
Yeah.
And Speewy's wig fell off.
Yeah, that was that could have been on my tombstone back then at 18 years old.
You
or
should be on it
17.
now.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
thanks.
your
yeah.
days are numbered.
Yeah.
You just had the birthday and everything.
I had a birthday 2 weeks ago, but I'm not putting that on there. Maybe, this annoys me would be a good.
Dave, that annoyed me.
Here lies Dave Spivak. And
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah, but I mean, we've all had the gigs. I mean, I do you want me to go on for a couple here? I can, and then we'll just
You're on-
I
you're on a
like
roll.
I like talking when I feel like I'm on a bit of a roll. I went to Kevin Rowland had this party, outdoor Okotoks festival that he throws, and he invited us early on, me and Chad and Al back then, and he had
You guys
a.
called Bumper Shine?
No, we were the DSP then, but then we changed it to Bumper Shine for a couple gigs only, but it doesn't matter. And I was playing on outdoor stage, and there was a wasp nest under the stage, and Chad was up actually on a riser, and he didn't get stung, and Al and I are literally getting stung as we're playing this show. So it was a super, super bad show. Otherwise it's great, except for the wasp stings. And then I had that gig in Regina that about, we've talked about before, where Lon set it up. He owned this restaurant and bar, the Great Panini, and he had set up a little stage and a PA, and he says, you come down, acoustic guitar, play a show. I'm going to invite tons of people. I said, okay, because I was heading to Winnipeg anyway, but I forgot about the time change, and I was already 45 minutes at Ribo late, and so I was already late, right? And I'm like, oh, I'm rushing, and he's like, well, where the hell are you? I said, well, it's this time. He goes, no, it's not. It's this time. And I'm like, oh, crap, aren't you the same time zone? Because Saskatchewan doesn't move and everywhere else moves around it. And I just got screwed. So I end up going there. Everybody's left. It's just Lon and my Boston Terrier that I had, my dog Rosie. And so I'm in there with the two of them. And Lon, after one song, Lon goes, well, you might as well play for me. I laughed. I said, okay, it's still fun, right? So I start off with the first song. Halfway through the song, he goes into the back and starts doing paperwork. He's gone for the night, and I'm playing in front of my dog. No different than every other day. Just playing in front of the dog. The same type of thing, right? So it was one of those deals that didn't really work out. I also, Ryan, even the CD release party we had in 2014 at the Cavern, there was at the time a rainstorm, a leaky bucket next to me. There was what it was, I can't remember who the hell was there, but there were some people very high on cocaine that were next to the side of the stage. It just kept trying to talk to me as I was playing, just like eating their faces as I'm trying to get through like an album release party, right?
Is that the Park Theater, or where was that?
No, that was at the Cavern in Osborne Village. So then they hit lights, and my pedal board was screwing up in the beginning. And then I had that awful case of tonsillitis. It was the funniest thing ever. I had suffered to even do that show. The tonsillitis was so bad. Right after the show, I just went, bye, and I went home. Everybody else partied and hung out at the bar. My CD release, I went home. I was sleeping by 1:30 in the morning.
I was like, Dave, you can't leave, but he just sounded like Super Dave Osborne, and I was like, yeah, maybe you should leave.
That's true. I did sound like Funkhauser.
Totally sounded like him. That
Yeah.
was funny.
I got to change
You know,
headphones. I got a battery
I
dead.
love when people come up to you and you're playing a gig and they just are talking to you on the set like you're not busy. Hey,
Right.
you do something? I'm in the middle of a freaking show right now.
Yeah, no kidding. I know. Thanks for listening at all.
I'm busy. I'm busy right now. Maybe call me later. Text me later. I'm kind of busy.
It's like Nico McBrain in Mission for Mary. What? What? He's fucking talking them. He's fucking up my gig. I said, don't ever do that again.
My God. So I have a gig that was really horrible, but there was tons of people there. This was Bayfest in Sarnia with the Watchmen. Tragically Hip was playing. Guess Who was playing. Sloan, Our Lady Peace. It's a huge show. 30,000 people there. I don't know if they did. running back to Sarnia, Ontario.
Running back to Sarnia tune.
So we had, so we go on stage. We're all warmed up. It was going to be a great show. We were all ready, and it was going to be awesome. And we went up there. We played to a sequencer for a few songs, and the opening track we played had a sequencer going. So, but we also had a backup sequencer. What's that?
Click track.
Yeah, and there's some backing things going on. There's, you know, some we played once, and you know, there's a little drum machine going on and something, and we all of a sudden it flipped. There was like a CD or something where it skipped, and I could hear that it was actually totally backwards to what I was playing. And I'm like, everything kind of worked out, but then I'm like, it's going to go to the chorus half a bar before it's supposed to, and it's going to be fucked up. But anyway, that was a different gig. So we had a few problems with that, but this one we had our backup sequencer was down. So Ken, our bass player, looks over and he's like, "Chef, get over here." And Chef was our stage tech who had way too many things on his plate to do.
And in charge of catering, which was strange.
That's right. A total pot smoker.
But did he give you waters?
I'm going to put him on my mouth and suck him. He did actually give us some waters, and it was great. So anyway.
The Sam of the Watchmen.
So we had... we're sitting there, we're starting the show, we're just kind of playing along, the sequencer is going, Danny's singing, and then Ken looks over, backup sequencer's down, "Chef, come over here, we need to do something." And he's looking, he's trying to figure out what to do, and right before we're about to kick in, he unplugs the sequencer that's playing. Ooh. And it's dead, just crickets. There's not a sound. 30,000 people all just standing there looking with blank looks over their faces, crickets, tumbleweed goes by, call, you know, some vulture flying by, horrible. And everybody leaves except for the lawyers and accountants. Oh, yeah. You're all fired. And then so the singer starts trying to, you know, make up for the dead air, and you know, he's talking and ain't talking about dead air. That was a great concept, though. We have dead air, a band called Dead Air. So every time in between songs when no one's saying anything, everyone starts going dead air, dead air. Dead
air. Great. Oh man, my capo would love that.
Yeah.
What happened?
That. So anyway, so Ken goes up to Danny. He's like, "Hey, can I get the keys for the van?" Bass player leaves the stage. 30,000 people watching us. Danny's like, "Oh, you know, you're in the shit when your bass player asks you for the keys of the van." He gives him the keys, you know, takes off. And then Danny starts singing some a cappella song. He comes back. He's got another sequencer. We start using that one. I count in a song, and Joey misreads the set list, and we're playing two different songs at the same time. And it's kind of like there's sort of the same tempo, and then I just kind of start ramping it up and meet him to his song. We do that one. Next song, I hit a cymbal. The cymbal falls onto me, like the stand is sitting on me. I'm like trying to do this. And
that was Rybo's last gig with the Watchmen.
No, that was early on. But actually, you know what? We powered through, and it was good. And at the end of it, you know, I wouldn't say we won over the crowd, and it was like the best show ever. But you know, we kind of obviously went uphill from there.
As a pro, you never think that way. Obviously, all that matters is the reaction of the crowd. But as the professionals on stage, you're like fucking furious over all this shit that went down, right?
So much shit. Like, but you know what? I mean, the singer though, he was like, "We're gonna remember that one." He said after the show,
"That's rock and roll."
That's rock and roll. We're gonna remember that one.
We had a gig, it's called 98 Rock Fest. 98 Rock is the big radio station in Tampa. It still has a lot of steam. And the last time we played there was on the main stage, but the first time it's in the Tampa Ice Palace, whatever they call it now, where the Lightning play. And so that's inside and it's packed, but outside in the courtyard area is kind of where the second stage is. So we were on the second stage. We were headlining the second stage. Everyone watches. Then they go inside and watch the main stage show. And it was the exact same thing that you said, Rybo. We were ready to go. And right when we were ready to go, we used a click track too. We used a lot of samples and backups and stuff. And right before we were about to go on, it just dies. And Rich Ward is like a ninja at fixing shit, but it was beyond fixable. So now we're like, and there's, like you said, it wasn't 30,000, but it was a packed courtyard of probably, I'd say 5,000 people. And the DJ is like, "And would you please welcome, I love these guys, it's Fozzy." and we're sitting there.
God.
And once the train leaves the station, you gotta
Yeah,
go.
you start
then,
doing some juggling or something.
well, then we're like, what? Okay, Martyr No More, God Pounds His Nails, To Kill a Stranger, TNT, and fucking Enemy. There's no click tracks. Let's just go. And we got 25 minutes. We better put a fucking like Grateful Dead jam in the middle of one of these songs.
A jazz
we have to hit
blues
this.
odyssey.
It was a blues jazz odyssey, really.
Jazz.
But once listen, it wasn't perfect, but when it was done, it was like, motherfucker, we fucking did it, man. Like, that was really cool. And it was one of those ones where the band pulled together like brothers, you know, like we gotta fight. Hey, we got it, man. We got this. And it was one of our favorite shows because of that. And then the day after that, Paulie D quit. So whatever. And then the other one that I have, I've got a bunch, but another one that I had is we were in Savannah, Georgia. And it's one of those ones where sometimes you play in a town at a small club, and there's another band also playing at a small club. So why fucking hassle it? Put the bands together and combine. We've done that with a band called Tesseract. We did it with Iced Earth. We did it with a bunch of bands. And it always works out because you get half us, half them, and you kind of people enjoy Iced Earth that wouldn't hear them, and people enjoy Fozzy that wouldn't hear them normally. So we're in this Savannah, Georgia, and there's another band playing. Great, put us together. And the band is the Murder Junkies. Now, if you've ever heard of Gigi Allen,
Oh,
Yeah. Oh.
now you know where we're going with this. It's Gigi Allen and the Murder Junkies. Well, Gigi Allen died years ago, so the Murder Junkies, led by Gigi's brother Merle.
They're like taking dumps on stage and shit.
Exactly. And it's a total fucking skinhead Nazi punks fucking show. So we don't know that. We pull up in the back. I remember it was like this big back alley. You pull up in the whatever we were driving, the van or whatever, and we set up. I was like, well, who's playing this? Like the Murder Junkies. Oh, that's kind of funny. I'm like, wait a minute, like which Murder Junkies? She's like, honey, there's only one Murder Junkies. I'm like, oh, fuck. And this is one of those ones where we didn't have a big fan base in Savannah. This was mostly Murder Junkies people. So we go on stage and we're playing. It's like, motherfucker. So I'm trying everything I can to get this crowd. I even lead a fuck chant. Just like fuck, like Frank Henry, fuck, say it, fuck, and no one's doing shit, and it's just fucking dying a death. And finally, it's like our last song. We're like Free Will Burning, I think is what we were playing last at the time.
Oh yeah.
And all these guys are like, they're like, you know, like Nazi punks, and they're like pretending to play guitar. They're like pretending to be like this is not hair metal, but it's close to them. They don't know the difference. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going out into the crowd. I don't give a shit. I'm going to make people rock. So I go up, I just rock. The guys, I grab his head, rock. And the guy, I push him. You know, you want to slam dance with me, motherfucker? I'll push you. Push this guy. You know, rock. I go up to this other guy. He's up against the wall. I'm like, rock. You better rock. He's just looking at me. I go rock, and I push him in the chest like this. And when I push him in the chest, he does a spin, and then I realize he's spinning on one foot because he has his other foot's in a giant cast, and he's got a crutch.
Nice.
So he's trying to bounce around on his good foot that I pushed him before he finally just falls because he's only got one leg. He's got
Oh God.
a broken leg.
You're like Rocky in 1989, Georgie's parking lot.
Exactly. And after that was done, I was like, show's over. And I just ran off stage, and we grabbed our shit and got the fuck
That's
out
so
of there.
great.
So terrible. The
Poor
worst
guy, man.
ever.
All you had to do was take a dump on the stage, and you would have.
Yeah, you would
right
just
in
join them. Just go, listen, this is what we got to do. We got to win over the crowd tonight. This is a peculiar crowd from Eastern Germany. We want them here tonight. By the way, love the German accents. Continue.
Sometimes
Yeah,
you just
I mean-
need to take a shit on the stage, man, and that's what the people want. You just got to give them the shit they want. You know.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, it was just what a night. So, Dave,
That's
tell
what
us about your gigs in Swift Current.
That's funny that you say that about give the people what they want is what I'm thinking. I wonder if
Yeah.
that's what the Kinks meant.
The Kink.
Yeah. I mean, another gig. Yeah, that's right. I even forgot about that one. The gig was great. The people were great. It was just the night that I had 2 nights that I had slept there. It was one of those hotel gig deals where you're there for a couple nights, which is great people. I mean, I'd still do it again, but I want to say that next to me and outside the window was just insanity. It was like there was a crystal meth fight outside the window, if that makes sense. It was like cats in the night, but they were human, you know.
Did you end up getting the crystal meth after the fight? Or?
And the rooms were just a little bit, you know, non-renovated. So I took the bed sheets. You know, it was the typical thing where you move in, you take the bed sheets, you place them all over the carpet, and you bring your own sheets. But brand new beds, that was nice, and a window that opened. I mean, you can't go wrong, right? And 2 nights, I mean, I still walked out of there saying I'm living my dream. You know, I still felt like that, and I really, but and the people were great. But oh man, it was a place that that I was like.
I appreciate what you're saying. The people are great, and you want to play.
Yeah, I'm not. You know, but when I would turn the light on, I had to pull on the rope to pull the bulb. You know what I mean? Like clink. Like, and it wasn't some newly renovated thing. It was the original light bulb. Like in a mirror, the light bulb would point towards you, and you would like the wiring alone. You could have died at night, and
Right.
Still very, you know, as Chris
Right.
was just saying, very grateful, lovely
very
people.
Great people. Listen, okay.
Yeah, they'll never see this anyway. Yeah.
So, well, actually, we got 10,000 people going to watch it, so you will never play in Swift Current again, but you will because they're great people, great
They are. I
quality.
love those
merch
people.
that
Great
was sold.
gals.
So we've had a gig in London, Ontario, and the illustrious Lee Wren was with us. He decided to come with us on our worst Canadian tour ever. And it was in London, Ontario. I remember I asked James Labrie if he wanted to come, but he was out of town. And thank goodness he was, because we pull up, and this is like the fucking the doldrums, the depths of London. This shit's terrible.
I was there. Yes, I remember.
Oh, you were there. Okay.
With Matt and Lee Wren.
Oh, great.
And
Thanks.
yeah,
Great. So
I think I was there too.
we were all there together, man.
and we've had a shitty tour. This is 2005. The last time we played London, we sold it out. This was not a sellout. This was like in the middle of fucking the worst part of town. And we've had a really shitty tour. So we're driving like this really dark, and there's like street lights are shot out and shit. And we pull up, like we're getting close to the venue, and there's a huge lineup down the street. And we're like, fuck, man, like our fortunes are changing. Like this is going to be a pretty cool gig.
Yeah.
Problem was that the lineup for the people was not for our show. It was for the soup kitchen that was right next door to the venue.
Oh, that's right. That's so great.
So we go to this place, and this place is a fucking shithole. It's like kind of a pool place, but it's kind of like not. It's dark and it stinks, and like it's one of those places where you step on the carpet, it's like just like sticky feet bugs all across the board. And so they have a dressing room upstairs, but it's a dressing room in an area where they have apartments. And these are low rent apartments for people that have no income that are government assisted. So we were up there, and this place was a fucking dump. Like this made the dressing room at the Savannah Murder Junkies gig look like the fucking, the Waldorf. Right. There's writing on the wall, and there's like one rickety bed. And you don't even want to sit on it. You're just kind of standing on one foot because you don't want to stand on anything else. And there's people shuffling. It's like the Madhouse video by Anthrax. They're shuffling up and it's in the dark, so you can't see anything. So you walk because all the light bulbs are turned off, and you walk outside, you see this person coming out. It's like something out of a scary movie, like The Changeling. Dave, like
I hate that movie.
Where the fuck are we? This is the worst gig ever. So we're like, you know what? There's 7 people here. There's lunatics walking. This was literally a speed metal set. We played for like 27 minutes. Like we're playing 6 songs and we're the fuck out of here. Nobody noticed we were playing. I remember one time we ended the song like bam, and all you hear was the cue balls hitting. I am London.
Nice.
And it's like, let's get the fuck out of here. That might be even worse than the Savannah gig in London, Ontario.
I think now we were up partying so heavily for a couple nights together that I think that I took a little nap ski when you guys were playing in London, Ontario. You've
missed every show, match, and play, and movie, podcast.
I'm changing, man. I'm going to come to them from now on. I got the chair here.
Me too, man. I swear I'll see the next one you do, Chris.
Yeah, we're more stimulated by you these days.
I'll catch the next one.
Yeah, we'll catch the next one. Cheers. Cheers.
Well, guys, those are some pretty shitty gigs, I'd have to say. Probably some of the worst. There's probably a lot more, but that just gives you a little bit of a taste of what it's like to play in a rock and roll band. It's not always sold out shows and hookers and booze. Let me just say that. And I will say
at Village Inn.
that'll be the next show.
Fortunately, most are.
Don't forget about Len Fairchuk and the Western Iowa TV taping this Saturday between 2 and 5 p.m. in Winnipeg. If you're there, come on down. It's going to be a great time. Len always puts on a great show. Remember, it's a free stage with the Western Hour and Len Fairchuk, our great sponsor, 2 to 5 this week in Winnipeg. And also don't forget about our fine new friend, Scott Andrew, the rugged entrepreneur. If you guys are looking for a way to disrupt your business, Scott is going to show you how to do that. Marketing, set tools. So that way you never have to. Well, that was my hand, by the way. That did not look like a hand. But we're excited that you guys are here with us, and we appreciate this. And if you guys have any bad gig stories of your own, please send them to us at I am Jericho, at Dave _ whatever the fuck yours is.
Dave Spivak on Facebook. Just send him Dave Spivak on Facebook. Send me a message if you got any embarrassing work stories or something happened to you in the shower. You got a weird sexual dysfunction. Just let us know. We want to know. We'll bring it up on the show and we'll talk about it. We're not afraid of subjects and we'd love to talk about your things.
That's right. And for me, just write it on a little cue card or something like that. And if you see me in the street, you just hand it to me and I'll read it on the air or something like that.
Slide it under his door. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your address, Ryan?
That was the last show. Dave, did you mention a rant? Is the rant there or is it gone? You don't feel the pressure.
Well, I mean, I think that I guess like anybody, I would be ranting today about certain things, corporate takeovers. You know what I don't like? Actually, I'll give you I'll give you a little thing here, and I could be off here, and prove me if I'm wrong, because I'm a big Neil Young fan, and sometimes when he solos, you'll see this, like, or even when Burton Cummings sings, he'll be like, it looks like a wolf, you know, and it's cool, man. I get the feeling of rock and roll, but when you're doing a guitar solo and you're going to the high note, can I show you? Can I give you? Do we have time? Can I give you a little?
Yeah, we got
example?
a couple minutes left. Sure, give us an example.
All right. Okay. This
Before
might
they
bomb
cut us
huge.
off.
But... All right. So I got my
Dead air.
Dead air.
started
dead
already. Let me
air,
just tune up here.
dead air,
So
dead air,
listen, I want to
dead
thank
air,
everybody for
dead
what a
air.
great audience tonight.
Oh, is
all
this
right.
like you had great panini?
This is
Yeah, it's no,
Let me
it's not
imitate
like
a
me
dog.
at the great panini. That's hilarious. I don't have a pick, which is going to screw everything
oh
up. But
no,
anyway.
this is Dave's gonna be on the next version of the worst gigs ever.
Okay, here's
Remember
what
the
I'm going to
last
say.
time I
Here's
played on the
what I
show?
want to say about these hotshot lead players. Okay, these hotshot lead guitar players. All right, so you get a lot of them doing this.
Yeah, they're throwing shapes. Yeah.
And it's too much. Okay,
like that?
like just like you're into your tone of your note, okay, and holding your note. So if we go to like E minor or something, we go. That's fine. See my face? But when you're going,
That's nice but tough, no.
it's just too much. And I think that the viewers, if you're into it, go check out some guitar players. Go on Instagram. Check them out. Make a rating system. These people, they're getting away with murder, okay? Because this note, or whatever it is, there it is. That's all they're doing. I could, drink my coffee, pay some taxes, okay? Those guys, they're going like,
You don't need the face.
it's too much.
Okay.
It's too much. We don't need that kind of face. A little bit of a face. No, nobody minds a little face from here and there, but not that type of face. That's just my rant for the night.
And you obviously do not want to ever watch a Kiss concert with Bruce Kulick or a Scorpions concert with Matthias Jabs. I wonder if what's that?
Well, they get a pass always.
Yeah, they're kind of like they're the geniuses.
The royalty, yeah.
Guys, once again, a great time here with you on a Thursday night. Every week at 9 p.m. we'll be here until they take us off the airwaves in George Orwellian form, but we don't care. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We're gonna get, so we're happy. We're happy that you're here. We're happy you joined us, and you probably can't hear the song, but we don't care.
Special thanks to Burton Cummings. Burton just had
cheers.
a birthday. Cheers. I finished
So
my
he's even closer to death than you are.
What a birthday I had 2 weeks ago. Holy shit.